Huh. Okay, so we are just having a summary of what happened in the first chapter. So Deepaji, Nirmala has given a nice background of it, what has happened. Anyone else wants to add to it? First and second, so far, what we have done? You're please welcome. In a few lines, if you can add, we have a new member here, Deepa and Megha Kudwa. So that will be nice if we can add to it. Anything else apart from what Nirmala ji said? Arjuna was in a dilemma. He didn't know whether to fight the war or whether to kill his own relatives. He was confused between what is dharma and what is adharma, whether fight. The major confusion, the basic confusion he had was the big picture was not available to him when he went and saw his relatives in front of him. No, he became a very small individual with very selfish mindset. Oh, this is my people, this is my guru, this is my brother, how can I kill him? I don't want the kingdom, let them rule. All these kinds of things, they sound very noble. No, they sound very as if he's sacrificing the kingdom for this and all that. But the big picture is, he was not there to fight the war for his personal gain. He forgot that. He was there to fight the war on behalf of dharma, to fight adharma. Adharma was what the Kauravas were doing all their lives, and how they were bending all the rules just to stay in power. So that is why Sri Krishna also took the side of dharma, that means the Pandavas, to fight the war of adharma, isn't it? So Arjuna right now has forgotten all this. It is like a soldier going to the battlefield and saying, no, I don't want to kill. He is also a human being. I don't want to kill him. The soldier on the other side also has a family. That's not the point. Everybody is here. They have taken some sides and they're representing something, isn't it? So the big picture becomes more important than the individual. That is what we need to always keep in mind when the question of dharma and adharma comes. And when the question of our own dharma comes, swadharma, what is called individual dharma comes, then we have to decide what is the higher dharma that I should follow, isn't it? That's what we have been contemplating. And Krishna is convincing Arjuna in three ways, like Nirmala ji mentioned. One, the biggest picture, that what are you worried about? This is all a dream, majorly, something like that. When we wake up from a horrible nightmare in the morning and we laugh, there is no discussion at all. Will you analyze and sit in the dream and you say, why did this man do this to me? I will go back and kill him tomorrow. We don't do such things. We just laugh it off. The dream is happening and we let it happen. And when we wake up, we laugh. That's the biggest picture what Krishna is giving, that you are actually not this little person who is going through all these stages in life, all these events that are not happening to you. It is just happening, that's all. And you are the untouched, pure, eternal consciousness who neither dies, nor he's never born, nor he's dead. That is one point. Second point, like Nirmala ji says, he tries common sense. He says, you have nothing to lose. It's a win-win situation. If you fight the war, you are a soldier, you're doing your duty. If you die in the war, you will attain to heaven because you are dying doing your duty. Later in the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha means if you die doing your duty, whatever it is, then that's the best course of action. So always be doing your duty. Number three is, if you lose the war, if you win the war and you get the kingdom, good, you have established dharma. So it's a win-win situation. Now the third option that Krishna is giving is how to rise above. See, all this fighting the war, etc., is a lot of action is happening, which all of us are in or doing karma all the time. All of us are doing karma all the time, helplessly so, because it's impossible not to do karma, isn't it? So now, from this shloka onwards, Krishna is giving the formula to convert karma into karma yoga. How to do karma is being taught, isn't it? So let us go to this shloka and revisit this shloka and see what is Krishna telling Arjuna and us, all of us, how to do karma, first of all, and the attitude with which one should lead life. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Vatmavan. So we had, there are so many things which are being said here. Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha. So that is one thing we have to discuss. We did just revisit. And then Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Second thing that is being said here. Third, Nirdvandvaha. Be free from dualities. Nitya Sasvastaha. Be eternally fixed in the truth. Niryoga Kshema. Be unconcerned about gain and preservation. And Atmavan. Be situated in the self. Yes. So what have we discussed so far and what have we left out in this? Padmaja, you were saying something last time.
No, I think we have covered. I was only talking about takeaway. I said Nirdvando we should take away, free from dualities. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. So why do we have to keep the Vedas aside and leave the Karma Kanda, let it be? That also we have discussed, because they always, any karma that we do keeps us rooted in the duality. That is why it will keep us in dvandva. It will keep us in the mode of traigunya, sattva, rajas and tamas. Even that is not acceptable. Rise above all the three gunas and become nistraigunya bhava Arjuna. Okay, regarding this traigunya, how, see, we feel that tamas and rajas, definitely we don't want to be in that mode. But why not sattva? What's wrong with sattva, people? Why that sattva is also rejected by Arjuna here? Anyone wants to share? What is the problem with sattva? Why can't I be a sattvic person? Why is that also being rejected? Yes, Vinaya?
In sattvic nature, we feel that I'm happy with what I have. In Arjuna's case, he don't want to do ahimsa. Himsa. He want to be in ahimsa nature.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yes, that is one point. Anyone else? What is wrong with sattva? Shiva, this Shweta, Anu, Padmaja, Pratibha. Sattva, why not? Why don't we live? Why can't we continue living in sattva? What's the problem?
I think, in my opinion, being sattva means, being, you are being good, you are being following rules, you are being doing, but then what happens is sometimes just being good, sometimes just follow the rules always doesn't work out. You have to act according to the situation. You shouldn't just do it because it is written there. This is the rule book there, so we have to do it. According to the situation, one has to act. For example, let's say a mother scolding a child, we should not scold the child. A child is very, very this one. But sometimes the child is not listening. We may have to just for that moment scold to show that you have to do this. Now that as per the rule, sattva people went, no, I will not scold. Very, very this one. So, but the child is not at all listening. I'm just giving you an example. So maybe that's what I think, in my opinion. So always being sattva will not help. According to the situation, one should, play the role or act or need to do.
Okay, there's a little problem with how you have understood it, or how I am understanding what you said. Sattva is not just superficial outer behavior. It is the inner state from which you act, no, Padmaja? Yeah. So if you are scolding the child, so you can be sattvic and scold the child because your intention is to help. So that's not the point. No, sattva is not just being goody all the time. Sattva is a state of internal state
Mhm.
which is the, see, then Saguna Brahma is full of sattva,
Okay.
isn't it? Our Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, whoever, our
Mhm.
concepts of what is, sustenance, maintenance and all that, that is full of saguna. That is, all the gunas are there in the sattvic person. All the good, the highest gunas are there. It doesn't
Okay.
mean, so it is not just about the words you say or whatever. It is the intention with which you act, which makes you sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. Okay, that is one
Okay.
thing. Anybody else wants to say what is, why we should not, we should transcend even sattva? People, please share, because this is very, very critical point. If we haven't understood, then we need to dwell on it a little more.
The purity sattva, the subtlest of the three gunas, often becomes impure by the contact with attachments and the consequent agitations, rajas, that attack the intellect with the delusion and grief and veil it from the great cognition of the real nature of things. To be established in purity, it would be therefore mean keeping ourselves least agitated and so least deluded in our persecutions of things and beings and in our estimation of their true nature.
Pratibha, whatever Pratibha reads, it's like becomes above my head, Pratibha. Too much.
Yeah. Pratibha ji, you read it fine, but what does it say in your own words? Can you share? What is the, this one in all this? What was being said here? In your own words, in 2 sentences? Okay. Anyone else? Anu, Shweta, you want to share, or Nirmala ji?
As I told the other day, tamas is a iron handcuff, rajas is a silver handcuff,
Very good.
but sattva is a golden handcuff, but still
Yes.
it's a handcuff.
It is still a hand.
Still, it's a handcuff.
Yeah.
You have to get over this handcuff and be free.
Correct. Correct.
Our aim should be to go beyond the 3 gunas, because all the 3 are binding.
Yes. All
Okay.
gunas are binding.
Tamas is a lower one. Rajas is little better. Sattva is still binding because you are still in punya mode.
Yeah. Correct.
That punya mode is still problematic because punya mode means you have to take another janma and enjoy the benefits.
Yes, exactly. That's the
So,
point.
so we are planning to get ourselves free from birth and death. Go beyond birth and death.
Correct.
We don't want. We want liberation. Under that condition, what we should aim is to be
free from all the gunas.
Just a witness. Just be a witness of that, all that is happening around you.
Correct.
Don't identify yourself with any of the happenings.
Correct. Very well said, Nirmala. Thank you so much. Shweta, you want to share?
Yeah, sorry, I'm also in the kitchen today, still all my work.
Yeah, please let us all be karma yoga mode.
Yeah, karma yoga mode. I think at the end of the day, it's like somebody who is not well, right? You have some kind of disease. You ask a cancer patient, he wants to be cancer free, right?
Correct.
You have a heart patient, they want, a little bit better, right? Chances of living more. I mean, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah.
They want to be free of that. And you ask somebody with diabetes, they'll say, oh yeah, that is the worst thing because I have to take this every day. It's still a disease, right? But the intensity is different. So in the same, the same way here, it's all about attachment. You just want to be detached. To be detached, attachment needs to go. So you can get your ultimate goal of moksha.
Very good. Well said. Yeah. Correct. Right. Everything. It's a, yeah, the golden handcuff also has to be, the shackles have to be, you know, you have to drop them.
Yes, yes. So
There's a very pretty story, which if we remember the story, I don't know, we will not get confused about the sattva guna and all those other things. So there were three thieves. I'm sure it's a very popular story, but still I'll share it for record. Three thieves were there in the forest, and they assaulted a man who was traveling with a lot of precious goods, and they took away his treasure, and he tied him to a tree. And among the three thieves, the first fellow said, let us kill him and go. Let us not leave any witnesses. If we leave this fellow like this only, tomorrow he will come to tell the police, and then then we'll be in trouble. So that was the first thief. The second fellow said, no need to kill him. Let us just tie him up nicely and stuff some cloth and all on him. And by the time the police find him, it will be ages. So we'll escape by that time. He said that. And then the third fellow, he didn't say anything. Then they tied him up and they left. And then the third fellow, after a while, he came back and he removed the shackles of the man and said, you just quietly escape into your village. You go home and rest. Don't speak about it to anyone. So what's the difference between these three people? Obviously, the first guy is a tamasic guy. He's completely, totally self-centered, selfish. He is not thinking of the other guy. He's willing to kill for his own gain. The first thief is complete tamas he represents. The second guy is the rajasic one. He wants the money that this fellow is carrying. He wants the benefit, but he stopped short of taking a life. He said, okay, let us just bind him and leave him and go. The third fellow comes back and releases this man. He's got the compassion. He says, okay, just go home quietly, but I'll take your money and go. Okay. So this poor traveler, he asked the third thief, why did you come back? Why did you come back and release me? So the thief says, yeah, I don't want to hurt you or your family and all that is fine, but I'm still a thief. I'm still a thief. I robbed you. So that way, the sattva guna is also a Trojan horse. You can still convince yourself, I'm a very sattvic, I'm a very good person, blah, 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 and still stay in samsara and wear those golden handcuffs. So that's the thing. If you're in samsara, better wear the golden handcuff. Better be the third sort of thief who is very compassionate towards others, who does the right things, who treads the path of dharma, all that. But ultimately, even the golden handcuff, even the sattva guna has to be transcended. While in duality, be in sattva, but be away from that also in your attitude, because that is also a golden hand. That is the
last bit.
Huh.
So why did you come back and free me?
Mm.
You have freed me. Okay.
Mm.
And you're showing me the path.
Mm.
Why don't you escape along with me? He says, go along with me and escape.
Correct. The thief.
At that time he says, I can't, because I'm still a thief.
And I'll get caught. Yes.
I'll get caught.
The police will still catch me even if I surrender.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
So sattvic, so here it comes. Here I explain to you that this is a golden handcuff.
Correct. You will get the handcuff anyway.
Yes, still.
Very beautiful. Perfectly said. Very nice. So,
Purnima ji and Nirmala ji, I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
So let's say a person who is above all these three, sattva and all these gunas. So let's take the story as an example. So what should a person who has transcended would have done?
He would have done exactly what Arjuna is doing now. As a thief,
correct. Now, as a thief, I'm talking.
He wouldn't be. He's a third thief, no.
No, that's the
He's
Sattva
enjoying-
Guna,
no,
no?
no, he's Sattva Guna only. The third thief who comes and releases the person, he's enjoying samsara. He enjoys the benefits of it. He enjoys being a good person. See, the thief here you should take not in literal sense, but the one who is in samsara, but in a sattvic way.
Correct.
Isn't it?
So, correct. So
Ah.
I am saying, if let us say now there is a fourth thief who is above all these samsaras, all these
He's
three
not
gunas.
a thief. He's not a
He
thief.
is not a thief.
He's the witness consciousness.
No, but that is
Okay.
his job. Thief,
Okay.
no?
Okay,
Inama?
okay, I'll answer this Padmaja's
Okay.
this thing. Then, if he is the Nistraigunya, what he will do is, he will neither run with the man whom he freed, nor he will go with the thieves. He will go his own way of freedom.
He will not rob because he knows that it's a treasure inside a mirror. It's a treasure inside a dream. So he will not covet that whatever the other man has,
No,
isn't it?
he will not go along with the thief. He will not go to the road which this escaped fellow is going. He will go his own way of
Okay, yeah, let us say that in the discussion that we are having, Arjuna and Krishna is Trigunya, right? But he's on the in the world of duality, he's on the side of dharma. No, so
Correct.
if he was Nistraigunya, and suppose he robbed the fellow, he would go and surrender to the police. Chalo. I would say that.
no.
He surrender to the police, meaning he will surrender to the higher power, and he will just he will say, yes, do what you will with this body mind complex.
I don't want to be the part of the system.
I don't want to be part of the system. Correct.
I become a jnani.
I become a jnani.
Yeah,
As
I
we
agree to Nirmala ji in that way, because surrendering to this one will not be helping, because he would have asked, now because he's enlightened, let's say, then he would be able to do a better job into the society instead of being behind bars.
As Rajinikanth
You know what,
says,
Padmaja, all these examples are very limited. We are the example will work only to one level. You cannot
Some
stretch
extent.
it to
Yes.
it to the entire thing. So it just showing what a sattvic person is like and why it is still a shackle. That's all. There the example ends. So we are comparing two different levels of reality is very, very difficult.
No,
Right?
Nistraigunya person, as Rajinikanth says, he has tani vadi. His road itself is different. He'll think different, he'll do different, he
Correct.
will behave differently,
Yes.
which we will not understand.
Correct.
Jnani, you cannot say he's a baby, you cannot say he is a wise man, you cannot say anything about him. He is what he is. Tadastha.
Tatastha.
Can I take a stab at,
Correct. And what he does also is sometimes very difficult to understand.
Very different.
Very different. What the Jnani, how he behaves also sometimes, it can be beyond your comprehension. You will never understand because the Jnani has a bigger picture, looking
Biggest
at everything from the mountain top, whereas I can see just the traffic jam in front of me. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So can I actually add
Yes.
one more thing to
Yeah,
Padma's
yeah.
question?
Please,
So,
please.
so maybe if he was an enlightened soul, right? Maybe for that moment he would have been he would be a thief and into thievery, right? But at that moment, if we had that what Krishna is telling Arjuna, rise above that.
Mm.
So he would have probably talked with thieves from not killing and also stealing and changed their minds also. Or he would have fought with the traveler and maybe he would have killed the thief. Then he would be a hero. Then he's the warrior in this situation. The war here is thief, stealing is the war here, right? Dharma Kshetra, this Kurukshetra here is the steal. The karma here is stealing. But the thieves are stealing is the karma. So he should have stopped the bad karma from happening. So if he was not a sattvic, if he was above that, is how
Mhm.
I kind of interpret it. I mean, at least from Padmaja's question, I think that's the scenario is how I think about that scenario.
Okay.
You,
Or if
you
he is
think he would have been a Robin Hood?
not Robin Hood, she's saying she will get the other thieves also, fight the other thieves also,
Hmm.
and defeat them or something.
I meant a
karma,
hero.
the karma of stealing would have been stopped.
Mm.
Stealing and killing would have been stopped. And he would have probably killed the thieves. He would have still been okay if he had killed the thief in this situation.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe if he is Nistraigunya and above all these gunas, and he's just the witness consciousness, probably he will let the karmas play out according to what their whatever is there in store for them. I don't know. But like,
Jnani is a person, he is impersonal. He will not do anything which will be drastic or anything. He allows the prarabdha karma to play for everyone out. He
That-
will not involve himself.
yeah,
That is his style.
he will only give jnana, and he will say at the end of it, yeah, correct. You're very right.
It's your life. It's your life.
Your life.
He will tell you everything.
Yeah,
He will tell you what is right, what is wrong.
correct.
And then he will leave it at that. Krishna also did the same thing. He
Yes.
told Arjuna what is right, what is wrong.
Yeah,
That's all.
correct.
He told you can choose whether you want to fight or you don't want to fight.
In the last chapter, in fact, after all the 17 or 18 chapters of giving him the jnana, the last thing Krishna says is, I have told you, this is my opinion. Now you do what you think is right.
That is jnani.
Just imagine, yes, just imagine that magnanimity, and that he's really above. This is my teaching. I have been telling you for so many chapters. You didn't listen to me. No, I have told you. It is left to you. Now use your viveka and do what you think is best.
A very good mother is a person who tells her child the negatives and the positives,
Yes.
and allows the child to make a decision so that the child makes its own decision.
And
It learns to make its own decision. It doesn't do katti vecha chapadum, cholli vecha chollum, will go until the end of the road only. The package of food I pack for you and the things I tell you will go till the end of the road only, unless and until I make it my own.
Very correct.
So the mother's job is to teach the child when the crossroad comes, how he should make the choice of dharmic way.
Very correct.
That's all.
Perfectly said. Correct. Wonderful, Nirmala. That is really correct. So to own up to your responsibilities and actions, and you don't dump it on me because you said I did it. No, the choice is entirely yours. Very correct. Beautiful.
And according to your vasanas, you will make the choices.
According to your.
And jnani is says, okay, if that is your vasana, go ahead.
Yeah. Correct. Perfectly said. Very beautiful. And so now here in this shloka, the most famous shloka of the Gita.
Wait, one important thing. Jnani believes in the way God runs the world. He will never interfere with that. He will show you the way and leave it for the next things to happen as it has to happen, as God wants the thing to be played according to each other's prarabdha, like that. He is not going to enforce that you have to do this, you have to do that. He believes in that. Lords. Lord is the director of the show.
Director in the sense all the rules are in place. It's like a computer game where there is no interference, on any sort. It all completely depends on your move. The next
Yes.
move depends on your previous move. That's all,
Yes.
isn't it? So
Yes,
all these, yeah, I think this is very good. And all of us have to be clear of all the things that Krishna has said in this shloka, people. Nistraigunya, did we understand that? Nistraigunya, Nirdvandva, Nirdvandva. Anyone
Yeah.
elaborate on Nirdvandva, please?
Pairs of opposites.
Correct. Anu, you want to say what is Nirdvandva? What does Arjuna say when he means, what does Krishna say? Says Nirdvandvo Bhava.
It's about the duality.
Yes.
He speaks about the duality. Likes and dislikes, and at the same time, that's what I understand.
Yeah.
Duality.
Apply it in your own life and just give one example so that all of us are clear. Like, all of us, let us think of an example. We can understand this Nirdvandva a little better in my own life situation. All of us, Padmaja, Shweta, Vinaya, Megha, everyone. Nirdvandva. Have you ever faced a situation where you have faced Dvandva and have you made a choice?
No, this is actually the best one.
All the time, I guess, right?
All the time we'll make a choice of right and wrong, and then we have to decide what is right. And as per the situation of we will do what is right. If at all we are in the right state of mind, we will do right. Otherwise, we might choose right over pleasure, also pleasure over right.
We'll choose pleasure, shreyas over prayas. Prayas over shreyas.
Yeah.
You know why that happens, no? Why does it happen, Anu?
It's because short-term things make us happy, so we might choose pleasure. But if we think from the right state of mind and deciding what is right for us, we might choose the right one, right? With the right, I don't know how to put it in words, but I definitely know what I was saying,
Yeah. See, first of all, why am I in Dvandva? Because I am not very clear in my head what is right and what is wrong. Isn't it? Why does Dvandva come in the first place? Do you really have to, I know I should not put my hand in the fire. I know it will burn. That kind of clarity I do not have about the other stuff in life, the higher truths, which is why I am in Dvandva, isn't it? The Dvandva is between the lower self and the higher self at any points of time, the Shreyas and the Prayas. So, in order to come out of the Dvandva, what Krishna is saying next is Atmavan, become Atmavan, be established in the truth, be established in the self. Then you will not have any problem of Dvandva, isn't it? No? Atmavan, Nistraigunyo Bhava, Dvandvo Bhava, Atmavan Bhava. So everything boils down to being established in the truth, established in the self. Everything is about Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Nirmala, you want to add something? I think today we have just, this is all.
So
yeah, tell.
Even if we establish ourselves in that Nirdvandva Bhava, moving from all the three gunas, I'm talking about tamas, rajas, and sattva gunas, then we establish into the consciousness of all the time thinking about self and Brahman.
Yeah.
Then that state also becomes like Nirdvandva Bhava. Am I?
See, Nirdvandva is not to have any conflicts, basically. That is one thing.
Yes.
When can somebody not have conflicts? When is absolutely sure of what is right and what is wrong. Even Duryodhana had no conflict. Isn't it? Even an utter tamasic person, he will have no conflict. I think I have shared with you this Janami Dharmam, no? Have I, Nirmala?
No.
Okay, this is a very interesting point here. This Duryodhana had a complete knowledge of Dharma also. He was a very, very highly educated, highly, intellectually he was very accomplished. Okay, and we all know that Krishna went as a peace emissary to talk to Duryodhana and to stop the war. A lot of effort was made to stop the war, isn't it? And so Krishna went for the very last time. He went to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and told them, let us not have a war. Just give them 5 villages. And we know Duryodhana said, I won't give them even a place, 5 needle point of land I will not give them. He said that. And then Krishna asked Duryodhana, you know what is dharma, you know what is adharma, but still why are you acting like this so helplessly? Why are you sinning like this? I know that you know in your heart that you are a sinner. What you are doing is wrong. Why are you doing this? And at that point, Duryodhana said, Janami dharmam nachame pravrutti. I know what is dharma, but it is not in my nature to follow it. Then he said, Janami adharma nachame nivrutti. I know what is adharma, but I cannot stop being adharmic. Kenapi devena hrudisthitena yathanayuktosi tatha karomi. Some unknown force, deva, some godly force is sitting in my hrudi. Kenapi devena hrudisthitena yathanayuktosi tatha karomi. However, that God within me is compelling me to do, I shall act like that. That is what Duryodhana said. So now you guys tell me what you understand from this statement of Duryodhana. He said 3 things. I know what is dharma, but it's not in my nature to follow dharma. I know what is adharma, but I cannot stop myself from sinning. Third, there is some force within me which is compelling me to act in the ways that I do. 3 things. So what is your take? All of us need to share. Nirmala ji, last.
No.
You will give full answer. Huh?
I'm so full of so many things, and you say last.
Yeah. One nimsha. Anyone who wants to share? Otherwise, we'll give Nirmala ji the free hand here. Any thoughts, people?
Okay, Nirmala ji, sorry, I'll go.
Yeah, please go, Shweta. Yeah.
Mine will be a little bit shorter, I think. I think this is how I look at it.
Yeah.
Duality is the way of life. Yes, no, dharma, adharma, the duality exists no matter what, right? That is the nature. And like how Krishna told Arjuna, this is already done. Or nimitta matra is what you have to do this fight. In the same way, nimitta matra is why Duryodhana is acting this way. Duryodhana is acting this way because that's what is his end. That's how his end is meant to be. He could have changed, right? But he didn't. He like 50%, like, within 100%, 50% in the middle ground. That's where you want to stay, right? Either this way or that way. Duryodhana was on the other end and Arjuna was in this end, but Arjuna was going more towards the 50% and Krishna had to bring him back. Krishna tried the same thing with Duryodhana to bring him to center, but he did not want to move, right? But maybe that was the nimitta for him. That was a limitation of Duryodhana's existence in this world also, right?
Okay.
So that's one of the takes. Sorry, what was your second question? I'm so sorry. I'm a little less focused.
No, one, he said, I know what is dharma, but I cannot simply, but it's not in my nature to,
right,
as per dharma. I know what is adharma, but I'm helplessly, I cannot stop sinning. Because some force within me is compelling me to act like that.
Right. So I think that's what, right? That was Duryodhana's act, which was already carved in one sense, based on all the vasanas he had come into existence in his life, right? So that's how his end was meant. So in the gist,
what I can say is
dharma and adharma. This duality is the way of life, and it's up to us.
Okay.
Which way to go? Is how
Okay, Shweta. What do you want to say, Padmaja? Tell.
I wanted to say, like, we are talking about Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, right?
Yeah.
So, in case of Duryodhan or the Kauravas as such, they have also trained along with Pandavas for
Hmm.
dharma, what is adharma, all these things. They have gone to that Gurukul ashram and have learned.
Correct.
So as such, they know about it.
Correct.
They also have a great influence of Shakuni Mama, who is a embodiment of all these kind of the next the other part of the thing.
Correct.
And in their in my opinion again, these Kauravas have been kind of injected with all those things.
Correct.
Now, what is wrong has always been put into their minds.
Hmm.
From the childhood, they've got a hatred towards Pandavas. Shakuni Mama has always talked that we have to have this. You are the ultimate ones who have to take up the throne. So it is not that Duryodhana knows everything because he has learned it in the Gurukul ashram. What is dharma? What is adharma? At the same time, he has been injected with all the negative things from Shakuni Mama.
Correct.
So I think all his cells have been trained that, okay, fine, this is what I need to do. For example, Krishna said, what do you need to do to Arjuna? And he said, yes, I need to do this. Whereas Shakuni Mama has said that you have to do this. So these people have said, yes, I need to do this. Forget about right and wrong. Right and wrong, I also know it because I've been trained. That's my...
Okay. Hmm. So you are saying the environment played a great role in both the cases. Kauravas were guided more by evil and the Pandavas were guided more by the good forces.
That is what
So-
they said. Environment is very important again.
Is that statement, the last statement, true? That, some force within me is making me, allowing me to, compelling me to do this.
Yeah, because his body cells have been, completely taken into that. Some force is saying that, okay, fine, I know what is right, I know what is wrong, but I will do this only.
Mm. So he is
Yeah.
surrendering to that nature of his vasanas.
Correct. He is not able to come out of it because it's been kind of...
Correct. Okay, next, who else? Thank you, Padmaja. Very, very valid inputs there. Who else wants to
I
say?
also feel the same, like how Padmaja shared.
Ah.
Somewhere the vasanas also of the past karma would have played influence in them, and with Shakuni's inputs and everything.
Okay.
That must have been one of the way they followed adharma.
Yes, correct. So the vasanas are so compelling that he is unable to come out of the that field of Maya, basically, right? Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And now, who else wants to share? And then we'll leave the floor to Nirmala. Shall we? Nirmala, carry on then.
So
Yeah.
in a day,
Hmm.
I get thousands of inputs from so many places. I take up only things which I like. How exactly I decide what I like and how it happens is, it's my natural taste. If you go to a homeopath, he will ask you, you like sour things, you like bitter things, you like sweet things, you like salt things. That shows your tendencies. That shows your vasanas.
Correct.
Those are the ones which are the final decisive factor.
What dose has to be given. Correct.
Yes, that is the thing which will make you tread your path. If you give me 100 paths, it's so easy for me to choose one path because my vasanas are pretty strong. Pretty strong. But vasanas are very, very, very strong. I have a choice. I have to make a choice between my vasana and what is right. I have a conscience. My conscience is not dead. My conscience is like my other person who will come and go on saying, Nirmala, what you're doing is wrong. This is not the right thing you're doing. If I try to strangulate my conscience, then it never comes up. It says it's a way, it's just like Pinocchio's Jimmy the Cricket. He will go on telling Pinocchio, don't do this, your nose will grow and you will be thrown out.
Correct.
Like that, there is one conscience in me which is going on telling me,
Yes.
if I encourage my conscience,
Yes.
somehow I'll be on my right path. But Duryodhana has killed,
Willfully.
strangulated that
Willfully,
conscience.
yeah.
Yes, strangulated that conscience.
Yes.
And he wants to just go by his vasana 100%.
Yes. Correct.
What is Nistraigunyo?
Mm.
When you stop yourself from easily being led by your vasanas.
Yes.
That is Nistraigunyo. Because then you will start choosing between the two. Correctly, you will be in the middle path where you will be just a witness of what's happening. You will not take sides. Okay, this I'll tell you, when it is day, it is crystal clear. I know what to take, what decisions I want to take. I can see everything. I can do it very well. At night, it's crystal clear. Nothing is seen. So I cannot make any decision. You know, when is the confusion which comes? It is, you know, in the half light, half dark. That is the time when I can suspect a rope to be a snake.
Mm.
Once I put the light on the rope, I know it is a rope.
So we are all in the twilight zone.
The twilight zone is the time when you make the wrongest of decisions.
Correct. We are completely
Because you're afraid of that snake, you're afraid, you run away, you're just panting, you're sweating, you're...
Yeah.
For a rope, you're afraid.
Mm.
The moment I know it's a rope, after that, again, when I go there, I'm not afraid anymore because I know it is a rope only.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that
Perfectly
is
said.
the position when you are confused.
Mm. Yeah.
So during that confusion period, believe it or not, if you keep your conscience alive,
Turn towards the light.
Beautifully, it will guide you.
Mm.
It will come and tell you, this is wrong, Nirmala. Don't take this decision. It is a wrong decision.
Mm.
But then I say, you shut up. I do that for 2-3 times. Then immediately it says, oh, this girl is anyways not going to listen. Why bother myself?
Correct.
It will die off. So
Yes.
for Duryodhana, it was dead.
And he happily blamed it on that force within him which is compelling him to do.
What is that? That is vasana.
That is the darkness, the dark
That
force.
is not only vasana, that is your prarabdha. Arey, usko marne ka, he had to die in the Kurukshetra war.
I'm glad you mentioned the prarabdha because here we need to bring in the purushartha. Have we discussed the purushartha part of it?
No.
There is prarabdha and there is purushartha. It's already 8:05. Please let us hold this thought. Prarabdha and purushartha. Next class we'll take up from here and then do the karmanyevadikaraste because it's a very important shloka. As all of us know, and I hope the others, regulars, come back to class. Otherwise, we'll just take it up in the next class, karmanyevadikaraste. But prarabdha and purushartha. Prarabdha is what we inherit. The things that we cannot change, and purushartha is what we do with it. So that is very, very important, and we will go into it in the next class. All right.
It is also called free will and destiny.
There. Correct. Prarabdha is destiny and purushartha is free will. And there's a whole big debate of whether we have free will. Actually, this discussion can happen for the next shloka, which enables this discussion to happen very beautifully. All right. Thank you all. Let us meet in the next week. Thank you. It was a very
wonderful,
nice session. We got
each session is like this. I don't know how magical you make it, Purni.
Please.
Yes.
Let me not be a Duryodhana and claim responsibility for what I'm not doing.
It is not Duryodhana. I think it is in the air. The magic is in the air.
Magic is in Bhagavad Gita.
And Nirmala ji also adds to that magic.
I know, she is the Vagarne, you know what we say, Tadka. Yeah, amazing. So beautiful.
It is
All
not, it is not me. It is, you understand, there is a force, as Duryodhana says, there is a force which is
But which
making
force?
us all speak. No, which is making us
From
all
above
speak.
or below, the force which draws you down or which elevates you. That is the force.
Yes, it is beautiful.
It is the
It's
same
absolutely
force.
beautiful.
It's the same force which is going up and down the spine. You just have to direct it in the right manner.
There is only one consciousness,
Only one consciousness.
but all the variety comes with each one of us asana, each one of us thinking. That's what adds color and shape and form to it.
Same Devi who is in all the chakras. She is Kali, completely tamasic also. And she is Gauri, completely sattvic. And everything in between. All right. We'll carry on from the next. So let's close.